Good afternoon. It is what, Sunday? What's the date today, Dave? Is the 17th, August 17th, Sunday?
Yeah, 17th.
August 17th on a Sunday. Dave and I are doing just a BS session podcast. Get everybody caught up on what's going on. Anyway, I have been having a hell of a time at work. We got there's three out of the four ladies in the office are drama queens. They're just starting all kinds of crap. So I've been at the cemetery. Well, I've been in the cemetery business 20 years, over 20 years. So I kind of know what I'm doing. I'm a ground supervisor, so I know what I'm doing on the grounds. I know what's happening. These ladies all seem to have better ideas. You know what I mean? Uh, And I always have this policy that ground supervisor is at every burial, at every service. I'm there. In case something goes wrong, something needs to be done, especially at our cemetery where there's parking is limited and people have to park a certain way. If you don't get up there and have people park, yeah, we got to shut that off. I was here. I knew I was hearing too. But so anyway, long story short, they go to the boss and say, "Well, Al doesn't need to be up there. Al acts like he's the boss. Al is the boss. Al is the ground super person that takes care of the service. You know, she goes up there and says her spiel and all that. Okay, fine. Anyway, so they come tell me, don't go up there, don't do this, don't do that. And I said, you guys are going to drop the ball. I organized this whole thing, funerals, the way they're set up, the way everything is. Before any of you came, what they were doing here was a disaster. And you guys have no idea because you came after I organized everything. Fine. I stepped away. I said, okay. So I talked to the director. I called her up and she said, let them fail, Al. Let them fail. Let them drop the ball and see what happens. See what happens. The very first day, very first service that I wasn't there, okay, about 150 cars show up, all classic low riders and all this stuff. It was a big funeral service. And I'm not there. So they parked wherever. They kind of took all the spaces up. They took the handicap spots up. Anyway, so then I get a call on the radio. Who's going to help me? And I'm like, I'll be down here waiting for you guys to come down to the section for the burial. And so that's what they wanted. So needless to say, about 5 or 6 complaints came in about how it was messed up. Even the gentleman that plays bugle for us, his name is Joseph W. Heston, and he's actually the president of our local TV station. He went and filed a complaint and wrote a letter and everything, saying, asking if I was on vacation, where's Al? Everything fell apart up there. It was all just disorganized. Okay, now, needless to say, I've done all this. I knew what needed to be done. So I told my boss, why waste time? Why let them fail? Anyway, so they failed. And then all of a sudden we have this big old meeting. Okay, big meeting the next couple of days later. Well, Al, we'd like you to do this, and we'd like you to be there and park the cars. And so everything that I had already done, organized, and did, now it's their idea, and they're asking me, they want me to do it. So, I mean, it's just, I told my boss, fine, I'll take care of it. It's not about me, it's not my ego. It's for the family, it's for the veterans. That's why we do this. That's why I do this. That's why I do these little teeny things with flags, and I make it really nice for them. And so, needless to say, I'm wanting. They want me back up there. They want me to do this. They want me to do that. But I guess it just had to be their idea. So they're just causing drama. Now they're giving my crew problems because we leave early. We guys take a half hour lunch and they leave a half hour. They want to start. Told no. And now it's a complaint every time they see us driving. When they're leaving, they're leaving, they're leaving. So I told my boss, we need to get a handle on these ladies. No, I don't know what their problem is. You need to get a handle on it. I'm going to file a statement and file a harassment. You don't. So he had a meeting with them. Now everything's all honky dory. Everything's fine. No problems anymore. I don't know, man. I don't understand. I don't understand why some people got to just poke their nose. I don't bother them. I don't go into their office and tell them what. Sometimes I do when it comes to the work orders and how they need to be filled out and how they're done and stuff. And I need time to get my work done. You can't just bring something on me. You can't say we have a casket burial this morning. Here, go ahead and get it ready. It takes a good day to prep for all. So I gave them the what I need. What happened? Beautiful.
That's just
Anyway,
mess-
yep. Anyway, I've been going through so much stress and so much baloney at work. I was ready to walk. I really was. Had I had I been, I have a year and 2 months to go, and I can retire. I told my boss, you got another year and 2 months with me. If it stays like this, I'm gone. As much as I like to stay, I'm gone. I can't deal with these ladies. You got to fix it. So we'll see what happens. Um, it's actually okay now, but I don't trust them. There's no team. You know what I mean? It's not like we're all one team, all on the same page together. It's they're acting
yeah, I
like
hear you.
uh,
I said, I hear you. I
yeah,
understand. Believe me.
a bunch of crap. Anyway, that's what's been happening at my work this past couple of weeks, and that's just a short version. There's just been so many things said. It's disgusting. It's like high school ended a long time ago for me. And these girls are just like still in school. It doesn't make any, you know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I hear you.
So that's what's been happening at my work. So anyway, what about you?
Well, last week uh, we had a big cylinder on a Cat 336, and it was actually the arm cylinder, and that's the one on top of the boom, not the two boom cylinders. It's the one on the top. And bear in mind, this is a big cylinder. Probably weighs 400 or 500 pounds.
Hmm.
Got a five inch nut on the end of it.
Oh my
So
gosh.
anyway, you got to take the pin out of it, and usually what we do instead of taking the whole barrel and everything off, we just unbolt it and pull the rod out and repack it, put it back in. Well, they got out a man lift on a backhoe with forks. I watched two people go up there. Now, bear in mind, these are big Allen, they're 19 millimeter Allen head bolts in this cylinder, and there's about 8 of them. So I was watching these guys, and they had a cheater pipe on a ratchet, and they broke the ratchet, broke the adapter because they had a half inch to three
Right.
quarter inch adapter for the socket, for the Allen head socket, 19 millimeter. So I watched and watched, and this was getting close to quitting time for the day. So I just left and didn't say a word. Well, when I got there the next morning, they took the whole cylinder off the machine, had it laying on the ground, and I watched again with different tools and broke a breaker bar
Oh my
and
god.
whole 9 yards. Now, bear in mind, I have a 1 inch impact in the shop. Um, so I went and bought a set of 1 inch impact sockets, and I watched this kid trying to break these bolts with a 1 inch impact, and it wouldn't break. Now, the whole time he's doing this, he's on
Oh,
one bolt, and I figured, okay, I better go out and tell him how to do this. I went out there and I explained to him, try another bolt. If that one don't break, try another bolt
right.
until you can get the ones loose, and then I'll show you how to get the ones that won't come out.
Right.
Very simple how to do this. So he went around, cracked the rest of the bolts. There was 3 of them that the impact wouldn't break, just holding the impact on it. Bear in mind, this is a 1 inch impact. It's a big one.
Big one. Yeah.
So I walked over and told him, I explained to him, I said, here's what you need to do. Put that impact on there, flip the button in the opposite direction to tighten it. Hit the button, hold it on there about 3 seconds, release it, flip it to loosen it. hit the loosen, squeeze the impact, and I guarantee you every one of those bolts will come right out.
Oh.
I watched for an hour how to get one bolt out when he didn't get the concept of getting the other ones out first,
Right.
and then something like that, you tighten it and loosen it, tighten it, loosen it, tighten it, loosen it, and it'll break it. And they all came right out. The look on his face was, well, thank you. I said, okay. You realize you would still be here working on one bolt if I didn't come here and talk to you about this.
Right.
And I told him, I said, trust me, son, I've done 1,000 bolts like this, maybe even 10,000 bolts in my lifetime doing cylinders. So believe me, when I tell you I know how to do this stuff, that's how you get it done.
And I tell them I'm the
It was,
supervisor for a reason because I've done
yeah,
that.
he was amazed that it actually worked.
What's sure
And
it's gonna work.
we're talking something that took 2 minutes versus the 2 hours or 3 hours they were working on it,
Okay. Yeah.
breaking tools and everything else. And I with a little direction, we had these bolts out in a matter of minutes.
Right. But you did the right thing. You let him fail, let him try it. Yep. And then show him how to do it. And that's
Yeah,
like what I said. I'm the supervisor for a reason. I've done everything you've done there. I've done it. I know the better way to do it.
yeah, and
Absolutely.
many times over. Trust me,
Right.
many
Right.
times over.
Like I told the girls at the office, I said, anything that can go wrong in a funeral, I've dealt with. I've
Yeah,
handled it. You know,
yeah,
and I know what to do. You guys wouldn't have a clue. If I'm not there, what are you going to do if something goes wrong? By the time you call me, the time I get there, well, you know, I try to plan ahead for everything. Done it
uh,
before. You.
here's another one. My company truck failed last week,
Oh yeah, I
and
was going to ask you.
so I finally got a hold of my service advisor at the Chevy dealer, and uh, Friday, the other day. Anyway, I said, "What's the status on my truck?" So she looks it up, and she tells me, "Well, they're still tearing it down." I said, "What? They're still tearing it down? It's been there. This is day 5. It's been there, and you're telling me they're still tearing it down?" I told her I pull a diesel engine out of a piece of heavy equipment, rebuild it, and put it back together, and put it back in the machine in 3 days. And you're talking a little 5.3 engine. You guys are still tearing it down.
Right. What's going
She
on?
didn't have she didn't have an answer. She just laughed. And I said, "Well, I don't think it's too funny. I need my truck back. Got my
Right.
radio in it and everything else."
Right.
Uh, Hopefully they'll have some news for me on Monday.
I can't believe they're still tearing it down. In other words, it sat for 4 days. Exactly. You know what I mean? It sat there for 4 days. Oh, and now they're starting to tear it
Well, I got some suspicions on this too. That she told me it had a cracked spark plug, then it had a oil fouled spark plug.
down. Right.
So they're suspecting rings and everything else. Well, it didn't have the symptoms for that. Um, what it had was the symptoms of probably needing a tune-up. Maybe a bad plug went bad.
Right.
But as far as engine performance, it didn't smoke. So she's telling me it might need rings. It might need a new engine. I don't know, but um, she's preaching to the wrong choir because I know better.
Exactly. You're not
Uh,
some old granny.
the truck performed great. All of a sudden, it just went south, sitting at a red light, started shaking. So that told me it was electrical because when I actually got it going, it didn't ever died. But when I got it going, gave it some gas and kicked the power in, and it performed great. So I can't believe that this is going this far for rings and cylinder damage and all this other stuff. So um, I'm very suspicious on what's going on with this truck. Fortunately, it's all under warranty,
You're lucky.
so
You're
I'm
lucky.
not paying the dime. Yeah, don't have
Oh,
to.
by the way, John Deere. tractor of ours that broke.
Yeah.
It's what you said, the hydrostatic. Um, what is it? You tell me.
It's a hydrostatic drive.
Right. Okay. So I tell them this before they came down. I said, this is what a friend of mine who is very well knows this stuff. This is what he does. He's a supervisor. Anyway, this is what he says it might be. So why don't you guys be prepared and bring down everything you need to take care of that front end, right? Think they listen? No. I mean, if I was sending a guy out, I would have everything I need. Great. Okay. So
Yeah.
this kid spent 4 hours tearing that front end apart. No lie, 4 hours, right? And about 2:30, I see him leaving. So I call him on the phone. I said, "Where are you going?" He goes, "Oh, I got to go to John Deere and get parts." I said, "You coming back today to finish it?" He goes, "Oh yeah, yeah, yeah." I said, "They have the parts?" He goes, "Oh yeah, 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 they got them." Okay. I know they have them because we're a big agricultural area. And I used to deal with all these places from the other cemetery I worked at. John Deere carries everything. If they're out, they can get it in a couple hours. Brought to them. So I don't hear back from the guy. It's closing time. I call him. I go, "Hey, what's going on?" "Oh yeah, they didn't have the parts. They ordered them, and I'll be back in on this is on Thursday. I'll be back in tomorrow morning." I'm like, "Yeah, uh-huh." I didn't believe that for a second. Well, come Friday, no show. About 2 o'clock, I get a text. "Oh, the parts aren't coming until Monday morning. I'll be there Monday." I said, "Look, we don't have any tractors. I got I got burial. I need this tractor running. I need it running Monday morning. When are you going to be here?" He goes, "I'll be there. I'll be there at 6 o'clock Monday morning." So that tells me he's already got the part. He's going to be in Monterey. He's in Merced, which is 2 hours away, on Monday morning at 6 o'clock to fix it. That means he's got the part. He's not going to come in and go get the parts at 6 a.m. at the parts place because they're not open. This guy's so full of crap.
Anyway, let me kill this recording.
All right. Anyway, it's been great, and we got to get some other people in here with us too to start this podcast. It'd be great.
Yeah, I got some stuff to do next weekend, so
All right.
let me kill the recording, then we can
All
get
right.
off for a minute.
All right. See you later, everybody.
Later on.
And 6MO.
KK5 UP.